Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! My mother and I are largely estranged. I've been informed that she is likely to lose her house soon through her own financial mismanagement, and my family is pressuring me to let her stay with me temporarily. First of all, I very much doubt that this will be temporary. Second, I don't want her in my house. She's a bitter, petty, intolerable person. What's more, already living in the house are my fiancé and my 2 kids, so we don't really have much room. When my family calls or texts to pressure me to let her live here, I encourage them to let her live with them, but they always have excuses. I suspect that my mother is engineering this campaign by encouraging my family members to harass me. My sister has been especially putting on the pressure, claiming that mom can't live with her because she doesn't have room, with a husband and 2 kids, and she lives too far. So what do you guys think? Am I in the wrong here? And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. This will likely not be temporary. Of course, your family is going to pressure you because, in all reality, they don't want her living with them either. If what you're saying about your mom is true, I wouldn't allow her to stay either. You're not in the wrong. Also, no is a complete sentence. They see every reason you offer, and every conversation you entertain is just another opportunity for them to change your mind. Just tell them, as I told you before, I will not be letting her move in. Then end the conversation if they persist. You're not in the wrong. Ask each family member if they plan to reimburse you for housing costs. When they say no, play the Uno reverse card and point out that they are the reason your mom can't live with you. I hosted Thanksgiving at my house. My partner and I have a nephew 16 who stays with us part-time. He has a bedroom on the 2nd floor and my bedroom is on the 3rd floor. It's a sweet suite, with a sitting room, living room, 2 walk-in closets, and a bedroom. When you walk up the stairs, you walk into the sitting room. Then there is a small living room, then a bedroom, and then you go into either one of the closets from the bedroom. I have a nephew who is 5 and exhibiting signs of autism. His mother is my 2nd cousin. She came along with her 2 brothers and their mother. So everyone's taking turns entertaining my 5-year-old nephew because he requires a little bit of extra attention. At one point, I leave the living room on the 1st floor and I see him on the stairs playing with a toy car, what looks like a watch. I look closer and I see the watch belongs to my husband, and it's a very expensive watch to be smashing into a toy car. I asked my nephew where he got it and he said, Uncle's backpack, 29 mil. I asked him if he could show me. He leads me to the piano room where everyone puts their jackets and whatnot, in my one cousin's backpack. My nephew opens the front portion of the backpack and I see some other jewelry in there. I was really pissed off, so I grabbed this backpack, grabbed my nephew and went into the living room. I dumped the backpack out onto one of the coffee tables and asked my cousin what the heck was going on with the fact that 2 of my husband's watches and a necklace that belonged to my mother were in his bag. I dumped out the bag, and the nephew who lives with me, his Switch, was in there. The cousin whose backpack was freaked out, saying clearly my autistic nephew put stuff in there that he had taken from upstairs. I know that's not the case, because he's not tall enough to get to the dresser where the jewelry was. Nor do I think he would even wander that far from everyone else. So, am I in the wrong for confronting him in front of everyone? Edit 1. So, when I dumped the bag out, the cousin who stole the stuff was white as a sheet. His sister asked me later on why on earth would I do that in front of everyone. The man who stole from me, his mother said that what he did was wrong, but I don't need to point it out to everyone, because everyone's going to be looking at him when he comes over their house. That's why I'm wondering if I'm the jerk. Edit 2. For those asking, I don't think he's an addict, but in all fairness, I didn't think he was a thief either. I don't think he's a career criminal because he didn't take the expensive watches, just the mid-grade ones. The necklace was just gold-plated, so probably only worth $100 or $200. The point is, there were much more expensive things he could have taken out of the drawers he was in. And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. In fact, this cousin who should never darken your doorstep again is extra jerkish because they also lied against a disabled child. Let the whole family see the level of their attitude. You're not in the wrong. I would have been raging, and the 5-year-old little boy told you the truth, straight up, which is pretty impressive. Much more so than his relative. OP, I'm sorry that Thanksgiving is ruined, yet you saved it so you're not in the wrong. If your cousin can steal from you, then that cousin could have done the same to someone else. You calling your cousin out means you spared more people from becoming victims to your cousin the thief. So ask yourself this, how many more people could he have stolen from besides you? Do not be surprised if you're not the first or only person he targeted. You are not mean but doing the right thing calling out a thief. Your cousin has done that to himself. I cannot believe your cousin tries to push the blame on the child who told you the truth. Moving forward, I hope you are making a police report against that guy and barring him from ever setting foot for any future visits. Hello guys, I have a story. It all began 8 years ago when I, male 26, was a freshman and got into MIT. During that time, my cousin, male 27, had a crush on a girl, 25, and they dated for about 3 months. During that time, I got to meet her and we fell in love. I want to highlight that I had no intentions to date her ever, but it happened. She dumped him and we started dating a few months later. I've always worked hard for what I have, a really good paying job and getting into college, while he never had to work for anything and was always given everything. Now 2 days later he texted me to hire him to work with me. But I really don't work, he has what is needed to work here or that he will be hired. He has always had bad grades and barely graduated college. He texted me that I had to, because I stole his girlfriend. We are engaged now, and is giving me a really hard time. He texted all of my family and my fiancé, and now my parents are telling me to hire him or at least help him to get a job with me, but given his entitlement, I really now don't feel like it. Yesterday he called me and said to me that I was an entitled piece of trash that wouldn't do anything for his family, and I responded accordingly telling him to get lost, and that he has never worked for absolutely anything in his life. And that's why my fiancé dumped him. Am I in the wrong here? And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. It is your reputation on the line if you recommend your cousin. If you feel he wouldn't do a good job, do not recommend him. You're not in the wrong. All other things aside, do not mix family and business. More often than not, it turns out badly. One more thing, you did not steal his girlfriend. She made a choice, and it wasn't him. A woman or a man is not a position to be taken or stolen. They are a person capable of making their own choices. Your fiancé was never your cousin's position for you to steal. And to claim so says a lot about how he sees women. You're not in the wrong. Your parents are incredibly out of line. Making a recommendation even for an interview on behalf of an unsuitable candidate would really tarnish your reputation in your organization. You are still young in your career and it would be a foolish move to squander your credibility like that. Given how mind-crushingly stupid and selfish they are being in not grasping such an obvious point on their own, you might consider simply lying to them and telling them that you tried and that the hiring manager shut you down. I rear-ended my roommate's car last week at a stop sign. It was a pretty minor accident. I was going about 10 miles an hour, and it was just a slight bump. Anyways, we got it checked out and there is $2,000 worth of damages to fix her car. $1,000 for the guy I hit, I wanted to use my full coverage insurance, but they wouldn't let me as I got into a crash with a car that was not mine. I proposed to my roommate that we use her full coverage insurance as that's what insurance is for, and she pays about $400 a month for it, and I will cover any/all premium costs of the insurance as well as a $500 copay requirement. My roommate doesn't agree to this deal. She proposed two things. We use her insurance. I pay the premium cost, the copay requirement, and the value of how much her car went down in the market, because using her insurance will show up in the Carfax when she sells it. I asked her how will we know how much the car value depreciated, and she said when she sells the car next year, she'll ask the dealer how much her car value decreased due to the accident. I can't agree to this arrangement for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I don't trust this dealer. Wouldn't they just exaggerate the amount the car value went down to, get the car for cheaper? And secondly, as I can't play any role in talking to the dealer or selling the car, I'm essentially signing a blank check to pay however much she and the dealer deems the car went down next year. This is too risky. What if she insists it's like $5,000 next year? I'll have already agreed to pay the decreased car value for using her insurance. I also talked to my parents and they said that car values do not depreciate for getting into minor accidents like this one. Just major ones, especially if the car is 100% fixed up. But there is nothing I can say to convince her that using her insurance won't lead to a substantial decrease in value of her car due to the accident being recorded in the Carfax. The second option if I don't agree to this deal is to pay for everything out of pocket and not get her insurance involved. This would be like almost an entire salary's month for me. It's insanely expensive, and I don't want to pay out of pocket when my roommate pays $400 a month for insurance. In my opinion, insurance is exactly for moments like this, and I'm really sorry that I can't use mine, but I'm willing to pay the premium on hers. Her argument is that I have the audacity to negotiate and argue with her when I crashed her car, and I should be apologetic and agree to handle things the way she wants to handle it. Anyways, am I in the wrong for refusing to either of her two options and continually trying to negotiate for using her insurance without the car value decrease stipulations? And now for some comments. You are in the wrong. You used her car. You follow her rules. You are in the wrong. She didn't crash her car. You did. Why should she risk her premium increasing over your poor driving? If your insurance doesn't cover you while driving other cars, get better insurance, pay out of pocket, or don't drive other people's cars. No one is in the wrong, but it seems like you don't understand how the car insurance market works. That's a problem. Also, this is why you don't drive other people's cars. You should pay out of pocket. Reason number 1,000,000 as to why you should never let someone borrow your car. Your roommate is going to be screwed in this, due to no fault of her own. You are in the wrong for using her insurance when you know it's going to negatively impact her. At least she knows never to let you use her vehicle again. So, as most people know, Thanksgiving was just there for everyone in the US. It was also my 16th female birthday, so besides Thanksgiving, we also had a whole birthday moment. My family celebrates Thanksgiving at my grandparents' house. One person being there is my aunt, female 30, and her daughter, my cousin, female 8. My aunt had 4 miscarriages before her daughter was born. So when my cousin was born, my aunt made it a big deal, which is fine. But it has led her to spoil her daughter so much and now acts like a brat because of it. If my cousin doesn't get her way, she will throw a fit. My cousin is also the last born of this generation of the family. So my aunt has made it a point that her daughter is a princess of the family and she should get all the attention because she is special. My whole family just let her think that way because they know how hard it was for her to have those miscarriages, so her daughter is special to her. So as I was saying, yesterday was also a birthday celebration for me besides Thanksgiving. While most extended family members give me money or gift cards for my birthday, my grandparents always give me actual gifts, so they were setting out for me. My cousin started throwing a fit because nobody got a gift for her, so my aunt asked if my cousin could help me open my gifts. I agreed. Well, she got mad that it was nothing she liked and ended up throwing and breaking a new makeup plate I got. My aunt said she didn't mean to, but did agree to buy me a replacement one. Then it was cake time, and everyone started singing me happy birthday. Cousin yelled no and blew out the candles as we were trying to move the cake farther from her. She completely smashed my cake. By then, I was upset. It's hard enough having a birthday on a holiday, but now I'm having it ruined by a bratty kid. My aunt started saying cousin didn't mean to and that she was still little. So I said she should know better. I get your daughter is special to you because of the miscarriages you had, but she isn't a baby anymore. Instead, she's a brat. So stop using she's your special little rainbow baby as an excuse and learn to accept you raising a spoiled brat. My aunt instantly started crying and went upstairs. A few family members, not my parents or my grandparents, called me a jerk and said that I didn't have to be that rude about it, but that I completely ruined the holiday. And now for some comments. You're not in the wrong. I will tell them, what do you mean? I didn't have to be rude about it? Has dropping gentle hints worked for anybody? If anything, y'all should thank me for taking one for the team and saying what everybody has been thinking. And no, the holiday was ruined by the bratty behavior, not the cooling out of the bratty behavior. Do not put that on me. I did not raise her. Let her trash your birthday party, blow out your candles, smash your cake, and break your presents next time. You're not in the wrong. You did not ruin the holiday. Your 8-year-old cousin did. An 8-year-old is more than old enough to behave appropriately in situations like this. And if they are not, your aunt should have left the room with them. You're not in the wrong. I'm not one of those my kid would never people usually, but like, my kid would never. Your aunt is choosing to raise a horrible human. It's honestly kinda sad. Her daughter can be special and understand boundaries and rules and be respectful. My 8-year-old is a rainbow baby too. Thank you for watching and see you next time.